everybody, and welcome back to the TNA recap for June 12th, 2014. I am, of course, your host, The Wizard 411. You can catch me at The Wizard 411, which is my Twitter handle, and you can also follow my Instagram, which is also just The Wizard 411. So we had a pretty interesting show tonight. I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty good. I felt that they're starting to do a lot of things right versus the way they were doing it before. I'm gonna give this show one thumb up, one solid thumb up. I'm not gonna do the two thumbs up anymore because it's just not necessary. But I'm gonna give it a solid thumbs up. So just to, let's get that out of the way and just get down to the show. So our show opens up with Showtime Eric Young coming out, calling MVP and Dixie Carter, stating that they're buddies when in reality they're not. So Money, Power, Respect, of course, shows up because MVP doesn't roll alone. He rolls with his crew because that's just how he rolls. So he pretty much comes out and tells him that, he is going to destroy Eric Young at the pay-per-view and there's nothing he can do about it. Eric Young requests to have a fair fight with MVP. MVP tells him, hey, I'm not really responsible, although Bobby Lashley can be pretty well composed at times. My boy Kenny here, on the other hand, he's a little cuckoo bananas, if you know what I mean. So there's no way that he's pretty much guaranteeing him a fair shot. He pretty much tells him, but I'll do you a favor because I am a fair man. I will give you an opportunity to pick the stipulation for the match if you can defeat the three of us tonight. So Kenny King interjects, of course, and he goes, the three of us? He can't even be two of us. How's he going to be three of us? So, they pretty much make it, okay, if you can beat two out of the three of us tonight, you'll be able to pick the stipulation for Slammiversary. So now have a series of matches tonight, which is going to determine whether or not Eric Young gets to pick the stipulation. So he's going to fight 3 times tonight. So it's going to be an Eric Young type of show. After that, we get our first match, actually, which was EY versus Bobby Lashley. Now, this was the first match of the night, starting at around 9:10, 9:11, around there. So, they didn't take too long with getting the match started. That was pretty good. I like that. The match itself was pretty decent, pretty hard-hitting. Bobby Lashley he's a solid athlete. He's a solid wrestler. There's a lot of hard-hitting back and forth. Bobby Lashley dominating the majority of the match, actually. So after we have a little back and forth action with EY making some sort of a comeback, Bobby Lashley is going to be gaining the victory via running power slam, or as he calls it, the Dominator. So Bobby Lashley gains this victory, further solidifying the fact that Eric Young is not capable of defeating Money, Power, and Respect. After that finishes, we cut to a promo backstage with Will-O-the-Wisp. He's pretty much stating that he's gonna, be crazy enough to defeat Bram and Magnus. They've been causing him all this horror and it's making him see the light, and that he's gonna pretty much open up a can of whoop ass on both of them. So that happens. After that, we have another backstage segment where Eric Young is backstage with one of the trainers. He's actually injured and he's, nursing his wounds. Oh my God, I can't believe I completely forgot to mention it. Post match with Eric Young and Bobby Lashley, Samoa Joe comes out to save Eric Young because Lashley continued beating him after the match was over. Lashley gets a powerful clothesline on Samoa Joe, but Samoa Joe ends up getting the better of him, standing tall with Eric Young in the ring. So sorry, I forgot to mention that. But anyway, after that happened, then we had the segment with Willow. So once that was done, the trainer was pretty much checking on him, saying maybe you shouldn't compete tonight. But Eric Young, being the fighting champion that he is, of course, told him, no, I have 2 more matches that I have to win. So, with that said, that finished. Then we cut to another segment with Samoa Joe, actually. Samoa Joe's telling the trainer in the back, or whoever's interviewing him, that he's actually going after Lashley. Lashley is his goal, and after he kills Lashley, he's going after MVP. So, you gotta fight one to get to the other, I guess. He didn't really consider Kenny King a threat at this point. So after that, we have Magnus and Bram come out to the ring, and they start talking about how Magnus was a shell of his former self, but he now thanks Bram for reinvigorating his career and pretty much letting him know that he can still be a badass. Willow comes out and interrupts them, telling them that they made him see the light and that him and Jeff Hardy, he kept saying we, referring to himself and his alter ego, that we're gonna beat you in Slammiversary. And Magnus is telling him, well, no, Bram actually says, well, there's two of us and we're real. You know, you and Jeff Hardy are the same person, so how are you gonna beat us? Jeff Hardy says, with of course the help of Abyss's music plays. So Abyss has returned to Impact Wrestling, and they went in the ring. They started brawling with the two. A little bit of back and forth going on, but Abyss and Willow do gain the upper hand and make Bram and Magnus run out of the ring with their tail tucked between their legs. So after that happens, we go to a backstage segment with EC3, pretty much stating that Bully Ray is going to pay for making him bleed. And, you know, that even though Dixie Carter's in here, he's still going to, you know, make her message a reality. I thought it was a little weird that the camera was too close to EC3. It was kind of like this while he was talking the whole time, and it was just really weird. I don't think they should focus that closely in on their wrestlers, but I guess it was to try to make it seem intense. Either way, he got his message across. So after that happens, we have DJ Zima Ion introducing the bromance, because he pretty much says that Robbie E has officially gotten over his fear of clowns and he's going to be facing Nooks tonight. So the Menagerie's music play. They come in the ring. Rebel looking great as always. She gets in the ring. They all do their crazy little circus act like usual, and their match begins. Now, I found it interesting that the music never stopped playing the entire time the match was going on. It was a little annoying, to be honest. Now, I get that it added to the idea of them being like this crazy team that they're just like psycho out of their minds. But at the same time, it was kind of driving me insane having to hear that while they were having a match. It kind of felt like there was just a lot of like, you know, back and forth mess going on. Like there wasn't anything real happening. But it was. It was a pretty competitive match actually. Robbie E was getting the upper hand on Nooks, but then Crazy Steve kept interfering. Not directly, but he was just popping out of nowhere as, you know, play upon the fear of clowns that Robbie E has. Anyway, we have a little bit of shenanigans going on throughout the whole ring. Jesse actually tries to hit on Rebel, and then he keeps going like this, like with his bicep, like, "Look, I'm really strong." And then the freak just comes out from behind, and he's like, "Oh yeah, well look at me," you know. And Jesse, of course, runs away scared. Make a long story short, Nooks does end up getting the victory in this match, as we of course knew he would. So after that, we cut to a backstage segment with EC3 and Rockstar Spud. EC3 asking him if he got the special guest that they needed tonight. He says yes, and Brooke Tessmacher walks towards them as we cut to a commercial break. So we come back from our commercial break, and they are now in the ring with Miss Tessmacher, and they're pretty much trying to get some dirt out of her from Bully Ray as to, you know, be able to use it against him in some sort of way. They did this really almost Maury sort of segment where Rockstar Spud has this envelope and he's like, "I have the test results. I have the test results." And then he pretty much says that that, you know, she has a baby with Bully Ray, and of course Tessmacher's like, "No, no, you guys are nuts. I don't have a baby with him." And then they show this photo on the Titantron with a regular baby and Bully Ray right next to it, and it was kind of interesting because the baby did sort of look like it could have belonged to Bully. But anyway, they were done playing games. EC3 got upset and he was like, "You know what? Why don't I just make an example out of you because of what Bully's been trying to do to us?" So once that happens, they got real. And Bully Ray, of course, came out for the save. They run out of the ring, so no actual altercation happens between them. Bully and Brooke do have a moment. They're sort of like a little reunion that kind of happened. Bully tells her that she was an awesome girlfriend and that he apologizes for not working out, but he still has love for her. They shared a hug in the ring. It was a pretty nice little moment. After that, you know, Ethan Carter pretty much goes, "You know, you're not going to get away with this. I challenge you to a tables match." And the audience is, of course, excited. But then Bully Ray goes, "You know what? No. Slammiversary is going to be in Dallas, Texas. So I want to show these people something they haven't seen in a long time. We are actually going to have a match that I, for one, have never really seen before. It's called a Dallas, Texas Death Match. If any of you know what that consists of, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, because realistically, I don't know what this match is. I first thought it was going to be like a Buried Alive match or something like that, you know, which we have seen, but I've never heard of a Dallas, Texas Death Match. So anyway, that segment pretty much finishes. Ethan Carter accepts the challenge. After that, we get to our third match, which is EY versus the King of the Night, Kenny King. So this match was interesting for a couple of reasons. One, because before the match actually started, MVP and Bobby Lashley are walking into the ring stating, you got this. Are you sure you're not gonna like go cuckoo bananas on us tonight? And Kenny King, of course, with his swag, a little attitude, he's like, nah, I got this, bro. Don't even worry about it. It's all good. So he comes out to the ring. He fights Eric. They have a decent match. It wasn't a great match, but it was a match. A little bit of back and forth action. Eric Young is of course suffering from his earlier wounds against the battle that he had with Lashley. Kenny King actually gains the upper hand on him, and just as he's about to win the match, he gets really arrogant and he starts like hopping all over the place, stating, "Yeah, I got this. This boy can't beat me," or whatever. Eric Young ends up getting the better of him because he was getting overzealous, and he hits him with a pile driver, gaining him the victory for this match. After this match is done, we get to our fourth match, which is a triple threat match for the #1 contender for the TNA Women's Knockouts title. This match, of course, consisted of Gail Kim versus Brittany versus Madison Rayne. The beautiful people come out ringside to pretty much talk to the announcers and let them know, hey, we're here watching this match really closely. It was some good back and forth action. Initially, it felt like Madison Rayne and Brittany were just teaming up on Gail Kim, seeing as she's the bigger veteran in the ring and the biggest threat overall. So there was a lot of back and forth action. They actually had a one little nice high spot where they did like a double suplex off of the top rope on Gail Kim. It was a match, like I said, it wasn't anything great. Make a long story short, the beautiful people started interfering, and they actually allowed Gail Kim to gain the victory when they actually meant for Brittany to gain the victory. This guy accidentally sprays the wrong person, which is Madison Rayne, and Gail Kim ends up, gaining the advantage because of it. After that, Angelina Love's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did this. You let Gail win? Like, oh my, she's the biggest threat here. What are we gonna do? So Gail Kim, of course, is in the ring celebrating, like letting her know, yo, your time is up because I'm about to win. I'm gonna get that belt. So after that finishes, we have our main event of the evening. But before that, we had MVP talking to the referee backstage, letting him know, hey, I want you to call this match clean down the middle. We already knew something was going to happen. So as this match, before the match goes underway, actually, as Eric Young comes out to the ring, you have the rest of Money, Power, Respect jump him. They start beating him up. They start hitting his back because, he's pretty injured. He's pretty banged up. After they beat him up a little bit, they throw him in the ring, and then the ref starts the match officially. So they go underway. MVP, as you can expect, gains the majority of the match. He is beating up Eric Young profusely because Eric Young can't really defend himself at this point. He's injured. He's been fighting match after match throughout the course of the night. So MVP naturally is gaining the upper hand. Sometime before the match is ending, MVP gets a chair and he sits down and he talks to Eric. He's like, come on, get up. You can do it. Come on. Beats him up some more. After that, MVP grabs a chair, smacks Eric Young in the back with the chair. Referee ends up disqualifying MVP, gaining Eric Young the victory via disqualification. MVP then grabs the mic and tells him, you know what? Get whatever stipulation you want. I'm going to still beat you. So he walks out with his goons, of course, and before they can fully exit the arena, Eric Young regains consciousness and he tells him, I won technically, right? So I get to choose the stipulation of the match. So he, of course, told MVP at Sunday, Slammiversary, me and you are going to go one-on-one in a steel cage match. And you know what? I might just be crazy enough. So Eric Young is crazy, right? That's what I'm getting out of this whole deal. He challenged MVP to a steel cage match, securing the fact that he'll end up getting him one-on-one. Which, of course, if history serves me right, steel cage matches don't guarantee that the other members aren't going to interfere. So that was pretty much our show for tonight. There's still no Bobby Roode. Where is he? What's going on? Are they just keeping him off the shows temporarily? Is he on vacation? Did they let him go? What's going on with Bobby Roode? I need to know because I feel like he's a crucial piece of the puzzle that they really haven't focused too much on, and they should be doing it because Bobby Roode is awesome and they need to have him involved in the story in some kind of way. So that is my recap for tonight's episode of Impact. I hope you all enjoyed it. Once again, feel free to like, share, subscribe. You know, do the damn thing, help a brother out. Are you guys going to be watching the pay-per-view this weekend? I know I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it and I'm going to provide feedback for all of you. I'm going to do a recap of the pay-per-view. So if you do miss it, you know you can catch it here at this channel. So just remember, guys, if you weren't sure about what happened tonight, now you are. You guys are awesome. Don't ever let anyone tell you different.